What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about NIO, give you a quick overview of some of the data points, break it down on what really moved it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So NIO did go down 4.67%. Today generally was just a massive bloodbath. S&P went down 1.8, NASDAQ 2.4, Dow down 0.9. So today was just horrific on every front. You also saw very little volume getting into NIO, so 49.8 or 49.6 million for that, 82.8 is the average. And looking here, you had 505 the low, so that's kind of important. So once I go over the technicals, that will make a little bit more sense. But straight out the gate, you just had it go down. And typically, whenever you see that type of situation kind of occur, that is just big money and linked to options. So I'll go over that in a second, but no news today, no SEC filings, nothing like that. Tomorrow is a very big day for NIO because they will be unveiling their delivery numbers. And in the past, that's caused, at least the last couple announcements have caused NIO to go up quite significantly. One thing that was very interesting though was that there was only one transaction on the secondary market above $100,000. It was a buy, $160,000 worth, but still I was anticipating some level of like FOMO or just big money getting in anticipation for tomorrow, but seems as though people don't really or didn't really give two craps about that. So it's unfortunate all in all. So hopefully NIO's numbers do come out better than anticipated and kind of shock just the broader market, and then that will prompt FOMO, but we'll just have to wait and see. Dark pool is very popular today, so these are all the transactions occurring on that. So that's often enough linked to shorting and just other large entities and stuff like that. So I'll start giving you guys more updates. The only downside of the dark pool is you can't tell what is buys and what is sells. But then again, I guess that's the whole purpose of the dark pool. And there was a couple big ones, so 1.1 million, but I want to give a quick shout out to Kramer 900. And so ultimately, it looks as though China is fighting back in regards to the tariffs. So there's been a couple of big things out that's really moved to NIO. One is stimulus. Second has been tariffs. And then obviously NIO's individual numbers. Tariffs hasn't really gone according to plan, even though it doesn't really affect NIO all that much. Still, the market seems to interpret as so. And as it stands, technically 45.3%, that's the high, that's what is going to be kind of placed on Chinese EVs. But it looks like Beijing is fighting back. So as far as I was aware, they only had up until the 31st to negotiate. So we might be seeing something very, very soon, possibly tomorrow. That'll be a really good Friday, have back-to-back catalysts. If not, probably over the weekend or something along those lines. But it looks like European Union is folding. And to be fair, A, I don't think this really affects NIO all that much. B, European Union kind of going at trade tariff wars with China is just the dumbest thing ever. Like, China is China. Like, if you're going to mess around, like, China has a lot more power than the EU. So essentially, I think that it is going to work in favor of China once it all is said and done. And so potentially, like I said, even though it doesn't really affect NIO all that much, Wall Street seems to think so. So as long as it works favorably for NIO, that's all that matters, right? And when it comes down to shorts, I'll give you a quick overview. Shorts were somewhat very active today, and this is something I did bring up in my pre-market video. Shorts were increasing, I think 100 and 150,000 at that time, just pre-market. They ended up increasing 3.04 million shares. 14.29% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 190.91 million shares. Cost to borrow average 2.79%, and then utilization is 92.18. So what is your thoughts on NIO? In the past, when NIO was running up, shorts were very active and they were trying to suppress it on a technical stance. So I think the same kind of scenario is playing out, because if we pop over here, luckily enough, that saving grace and the kind of the low for today was that 200-day moving average. So I think their bigger plan is just to break it on a technical level, because if it does break below that 200-day moving average, then this is where it could potentially hit that fours and nobody wants to see 4s. I think that would really hurt the sentiment so much more. So I think that's just their plan, bigger picture. But what do I know, right? I'm not a financial advisor. You guys do whatever floats your boat and stuff like that. Aside from that, I'll give you a quick overview. No new analyst ratings, as you can kind of see right here. So I'll give you guys constant updates on that. So last one was done 3 days ago and whatever else. So yeah, I think right now it is just the technicals and just the potential catalyst that is going to be driving NIO. So hopefully, like I said, the numbers come out better than anticipated for tomorrow. Kind of low dollar value in options today. 2.64 million in calls, 1.45 million in puts. 50% of all the options being done today were optimistic and bullish, but with shorts increasing that amount, I'm sure a lot of that 50% right here was shorts hedging, but that's just my own interpretation, of course. But of the call options that are being purchased, you see a consensus for it to be roughly between that 550 and 6. So the optimism for it to be kind of around that 650 has diminished. And looking at puts, you see a consensus for it to be sub $5. And then once again, you have these kind of pockets of just people anticipating for it to be sub $4 by December or January, between 2024 and 2025. So we'll have to wait and see what comes from that. But right now with it at $5.10, kind of recovering slightly after hours, but with it right now at $5.10, it's trading between this S1 and the pivot. So 468 is going to be that strong support, and then $6.12 is going to be the next strong resistance slash target. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And most likely with it going up, I see a lot of other stocks kind of moving higher as well. So we had also Intel unveil their earnings, so that's up 12.22%. Amazon did beat, and I believe Apple as well. So that's clearly going to be good, at least for after hours. We'll have to see if that does translate to true gains for tomorrow or not. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then 2 things, take advantage of this promo because it gives you 8 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. This is a kick-ass deal. And then aside from that, I did launch memberships with this YouTube channel. So if you want buy signals on stocks and options, definitely take advantage of my memberships. And then as well, if you just want to support, there's also that option as well. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.